On day 1, I spawned as a little baby monkey in a banana tree, but I only have 3 hearts. As a monkey, I can climb trees. This is awesome. But where are all my monkey friends? I was all alone when suddenly an ocelot started stealing all the bananas from my tree. Ouch, what did I do to you? I didn't have any weapons to fight, so I quickly jumped down from the tree and ran away.
Whew, that was a close one. This water will be a peaceful place to catch my breath.
Just when I thought I was safe, I ran into a crocodile. Ah, oh no! He wanted to eat me, but I couldn't fight him either, so I climbed up the tree to get away.
After reaching the top, I broke the leaves and took a look around.
This looks like a good place to hide for the night. I finally felt safe, but I couldn't help but wonder, why was I the only monkey at the tree?
As I watched the sunset, I thought about how beautiful but dangerous this world is. How could a little monkey like me ever make a difference? I just need to find some friends and lay low, but I'll focus on that later and get some rest.
On day 2, I returned to the banana tree and the ocelot was gone. I'm hungry. I need some of these bananas. I decided to grab as many as I could to take with me on my journey ahead. I didn't see any other monkeys around, so I spent the day gathering wood and stone to make myself some stone tools. While I was doing that, I stumbled across a village of other monkeys.
Wow, this place looks great. I'll have to ask someone if they've seen my tribe. I made my way to the top of the hill and saw a wise old monkey looking out at the village.
Hey, have you seen any other monkeys like me around? My new friend explained to me that the banana trees in the area were slowly disappearing, and the monkeys were too. I couldn't believe it, so I grabbed any supplies I could around the village and then left to search for my tribe. By day 3, I had found a nice little forest to call my new home. This will work great. I climbed up the tallest tree and started working on a treehouse for myself. It was hard work, but I'm not afraid of a little hard work. I took a break from building to work on my food source. I planted some banana trees, which grew really fast. Wow, that is one good-looking banana tree. Let's see what these bananas are like. I picked the bananas off the tree and saw they were special golden bananas. I couldn't wait to take a bite. Wow, these are so good. Suddenly, I grew into an adult monkey with 5 hearts. All right, 2 more hearts. I feel stronger and have a jump boost. I can run faster too. With my new abilities, I finished my treehouse in no time. It's not much, but it's a place to call home. That night, I started hearing horrible noises outside my treehouse. When I took a look, my house was surrounded by spiders. Oh great, I totally forgot to put torches at the bottom of my base. I hope I can fight these guys off. Good thing I just made myself a sword. Get back, you creepy crawlers. I won't let you get me. It was a tough fight, but I was able to clear them all out. Maybe I'm tougher than I thought. Or maybe it was just my new sword. Yeah, probably that. With the spiders gone, I could finally get some much needed sleep. On days 4 and 5, I set off to try and find my monkey family, but I ran into the ocelot I saw before. Hey, what are you doing here? He demanded that I give him my bananas so he could give them to his boss. No way I'm not giving you my bananas. Who is your boss and why does he want them? He told me his boss Buff Tiger didn't answer to anyone, especially not little monkeys like me. Before I could respond, he attacked me. Ouch, I'm not letting you pick on me this time. That ocelot was way stronger than I thought and hit me really hard. Luckily, I could climb trees and jump really high, so I could easily get out of the way and hit him back. It took everything I had, but I was able to wear him down and take him out. That was exhausting, but at least I know who I'm up against. But I still had so many questions. Why did they want bananas? And who is this Buff Tiger guy? What kind of name is that anyway? I was able to beat the ocelot, but there was clearly a bigger fight ahead, so I headed back home to prepare for the battle to come. On days 6 to 8, I found a cave to do some mining. If I was going to get to the bottom of this, I needed the gear to do it. Whoa, this cave is huge. I bet I'll be able to find all kinds of resources in here. While I was down there, I found flint, coal, and iron. When I got home, I crafted some furnaces, smelted the iron, and crafted an iron axe, pickaxe, sword, as well as some iron boots. It's just a little bit of protection, but these boots are better than nothing. By then, night had fallen and I could hear noises coming from outside the base. Hello? Who's there? I broke a hole in my fencing and took a peek over the edge. It was a bunch of zombies. Oh shoot, I forgot to put out torches again. Hey guys, we don't have to fight. Why don't you just leave me alone? Alright, suit yourself. They didn't seem too happy with me being there. Eat iron, flesh face. They left me with no choice, so I fought back with my new sword and won. That felt like a much easier fight with my new equipment. I was feeling better already, but definitely needed some rest, so I hopped into bed for the night. On days 9 and 10, I woke up hungry. I had some more bananas to eat, but I needed to find something more filling than that. I decided to make a boat and use it to explore along the river. When I was exploring, I saw another village in the distance. I'm sure the monkeys there can help me find something good to eat, but as I entered the village, it was empty. Where is everyone? Something seems off. The place was deserted, so I helped myself to some wheat and watermelons to take back home. As I was rowing back home, I saw something moving in the trees. Those must be the missing monkeys from the village. But who's that? On a lower tree, I saw a tiger. Could that be the Buff Tiger I'd been hearing so much about? He didn't look so buff to me. It looked like he was trapping those monkeys. I had to save them. I quickly climbed up a nearby tree and called out to him. Hey, what do you think you're doing with those monkeys?
I'm taking these monkeys captive so they can build things for me. It's incredibly difficult when you don't have thumbs.
I don't care how many thumbs you have, it isn't right. I didn't have a second to lose. I quickly jumped up the other trees to try and get to the trapped monkeys. Buff Tiger saw what I was doing and started moving towards them too. I had to beat him to the top. When I reached the top, I hurried and made a bridge for the monkeys to escape. Quick everyone, run across and we can get out of here. Buff Tiger let out a roar, which seemed to freeze all of them except for one, who hurried and ran across the bridge to my tree. Watch out! Buff Tiger jumped across the tree and broke the end of the bridge, blocking the rest of the monkeys off. I couldn't believe it. I was getting ready to try and jump across when the other monkey called out to me.
Don't attack him. He's stronger than he looks. We'll have to try and rescue them later.
All I could do was watch as he led them all away. Come on, let's hurry and get out of here. My new friend and I hurried out of the tree and jumped into a boat. Once we had reached the shore, she explained to me how Buff Tiger had kidnapped them from the nearby village. We decided we would team up and stop him. By the way, what's your name?
My friends call me Chim Chim.
Nice to meet you, Chim Chim. Now let's go kick some tiger tail. On days 11 through 14, Chim Chim and I arrived at the base and got right to work building a space for her to live in. We extended the base over to the nearby tree and put up some torches. Hey, this is looking really great. It's going to be nice having a roommate around. With Chim Chim set up, I headed out to find some more supplies for the fight ahead. I was walking along when I started hearing a weird noise. What in the world is that? I cut some grass and almost stepped on a Komodo dragon. Ah, get away! I tried hitting it with my sword, but it hit back hard. Oh man, I don't feel so good. The dragon had poisoned me, which brought me down to half a heart. I gotta get out of here. While I was running away, I came across some chickens, which gave me an idea. Hey guys, I need your feathers. I'm sure you won't mind. Hearing no complaints, I gathered up all their feathers, put down a crafting table, and made myself a bow and some arrows. That dragon won't stand a chance against me now. I ran back over to the dragon and hopped up a tree. Haha, good luck getting to me this time. I shot off a couple arrows before the dragon tried to charge me. You can't get me up here. I fired one more arrow and took him out. This thing is definitely going to come in handy. From there, I headed into a dark forest and gathered some wood, mushrooms, dirt, and stone. Once I collected that, I started a mine near my base. While I was down in the mines, I got some iron, gold, and coal. I better go get crafting. I headed back into the base where Chim Chim watched me craft a new set of iron armor. I also put together a spear. I wasn't going to need my sword anymore, so I tossed that over to Chim Chim. Hopefully you won't need this, but hold on to it, just in case. Next, I headed down to the water and cleared out an area to plant a farm. I took out my hoe, tilled the ground, and then planted some wheat seeds. I also made sure to plant some watermelon as well, since it was Chim Chim's favorite food. Then I put down some wood and set up some cocoa beans. Wow, this little starter camp is already starting to look like a home. On day 15, Chim Chim woke me up before the sun had risen. Chim Chim, what's going on?
I couldn't sleep. There's a monkey that I think you need to meet, and he can't wait.
Another monkey? Lead the way. Chim Chim led me out of the base, and we entered a dark forest. It's a good thing you know where you're going, otherwise I'd be completely lost. We soon came across a small hut hidden in the thick trees. We entered the hut and inside was a monkey shaman. Hey there, what's going on? The shaman looked deep into my eyes.
The great spirits have long foretold the day when a cursed tiger will seek to enslave all monkeys. They prophesied that he will steal all the bananas and use that to capture and control all the monkeys to do his will. But all hope would not be lost. A monkey would be sent to us who will master the land and defeat the tiger. Zozo, you are that monkey.
I was stunned. No, it's not possible. I couldn't stop Buff Tiger before. How could I be the monkey of legend? I don't have the strength or weapons to possibly save everyone. I'm sorry, but you got the wrong guy. I was too embarrassed to stay there any longer, so I left the hut to head home. I needed to get some rest. On days 16 through 19, I woke up and noticed that Chim Chim was missing. I looked all around the base but couldn't find her anywhere. Chim Chim! I couldn't think of where she would go, but there was one place I knew that was incredibly dangerous. I really hoped she wouldn't be there. As I walked to the edge of the cliff, I could see Chim Chim trapped in the lava. Hang on, Chim Chim, I'm coming to rescue you. I quickly laid down some blocks and made a bridge to where she was trapped. She must have left the base without bringing any supplies. Quick, come across here before the lava rises anymore. We ran back across to safety. Chim Chim, what were you doing out there? I was really worried about you.
After you told the shaman you wouldn't help, I couldn't wait around and do nothing. I was trying to go and find my captured monkey friends when I got trapped.
That was really brave of you. You know what? I'll help. I don't think I'm the monkey they're talking about, but if you want to fight Buff Tiger, I can fight too. That seemed to really cheer Chim Chim up. But before we could leave, we heard a squawk from near the lava. We went to take a look and saw an emu trapped on the other side. He needs some help. Don't worry, buddy, I've got you. I put some blocks down and made a bridge for the emu to get across the lava. He followed me across, and so I built some ladders for us to climb out of the hole. When we reached the top, I asked him what he was doing down there. Turns out he actually lived there, but had gotten trapped when the lava started rising. He explained that he heard us talking about Buff Tiger and knew something he thought might help. He said he had heard about a legendary ancient weapon made specifically to fight tigers. That sounds amazing. What is it and where do we find it? He wished us luck but told us he didn't know where it was, but said if we ran into any other animals, we should be sure to ask them if they know anything. After the emu had left, I was feeling more confident that we could do this. Suddenly, I felt a burst of energy and gained 2 more hearts. I even grew a little in size. All right, Chim Chim, we can figure this out. Let's head back to the base. On days 20 to 22, we got back to the base and saw it was surrounded by creepers. Ah, get back, you mutated pig freaks. I quickly charged with my spear and made sure the creepers couldn't damage our base. After the creepers were gone, Chim Chim said she had something she wanted to talk to me about.
You know, I don't think you give yourself enough credit. You're actually much braver than you think. How do you do it?
Thanks, Chim. Maybe I am too hard on myself. When I get scared, there is one thing that always helps me. I always think of my hero. He's a big, banana-loving, necktie-wearing ape who isn't afraid of anything.
He sounds amazing. I think we should build a statue in his honor. That way we can always remember to be brave.
I thought that was a great idea, but before I headed off to get supplies, I finally went ahead and put some torches around the bottom of the tree to stop mobs from spawning there. Yeah, this may have been a little overdue. Then I headed off to the woods to cut down some trees. I wanted the statue to be huge, so I was going to need a ton of wood. I also went out and found some sheep so I could use their wool. I built them a pen and then harvested some cocoa beans so I could dye the sheep brown. This will be the perfect color for the statue. Chim Chim and I then cleared out a space to put the statue. It's going to take a lot of time to build this, but I think it's going to look really cool when we're all done. Once we had finished clearing a space, we started on the first part of the statue. I was glad Chim Chim was there to help. Adventures are always better when they're with a friend. After a lot of hard work, we finally finished the first part. And hey, this is actually the first video I've ever made. If you like it so far, it would mean the world to me if you subscribed and turned on notifications. That way you'll be sure to catch my next adventure. On days 23 to 27, I was in my base when suddenly a zombie in full armor came around the corner. Whoa, where did you come from? Get back, you undead creep. I managed to beat him down with my spear and noticed he dropped some kind of special item. What's this? It looks like some kind of Swiss Army knife. I didn't know anything about this new item, so I decided to head to the desert and test it out. I saw some husks wandering around and gave it a swing. Whoa, this thing can set stuff on fire. There were some rattlesnakes nearby too, so I went and tested it out on them as well. Piece of cake. Then I went and tested it out on some sand and a cactus. It looks like this thing is just as good as a shovel or an axe. A tool this versatile is definitely going to help me in the future. With my test complete, I headed back home. When I arrived at the base, I saw Chim Chim talking to a couple of horses and a donkey. He explained that he heard this was a place safe from Buff Tiger and wanted to stay here too. The more the merrier, my friends. We'd be happy to have you. Our new friends are going to need a place to stay, so I cleared some space at the bottom of the tree and built them a small shelter to live in. That reminded me, I didn't want any more surprise guests climbing into my base, so I broke all of the vines off the trunk of my tree. I am a monkey after all. I definitely didn't need these vines. On days 28 to 32, I went and asked my new horse friend if he knew anything about the legendary weapon the emu had mentioned. He told me he didn't know what the weapon was, but had come across a group of anteaters in a distant forest who were collectors of interesting objects. How can I find these anteaters? I don't know if I can travel that far for that long. He told me that I should hop on his back and he could show me the way. He would get me there in no time. I threw a saddle on the horse's back and we took off into the distance. Chim Chim could keep an eye on things until I got back. After a while, we came to a bridge, but a snapping turtle was blocking the way. Uh-oh, he doesn't look friendly. Let me see if he'll let us pass. Hey there, do you mind letting us by?
Hey you, get out of here! This area is controlled by Buff Tiger. No monkeys allowed!
No monkeys allowed? We'll see about that. I gave him a hit with my spear, but that was a mistake. He was strong. I quickly ran back and hopped on my horse friend's back. Quick, let's jump across using that tree over there. There was a large tree in the middle of the gap, so we hopped on top of it and then jumped to the other side. See you around, slowpoke. We had gotten by, but this land was controlled by Buff Tiger? I'd have to keep an eye out for anything suspicious. On days 33 to 36, we found the group of anteaters hanging out in a forest clearing. Hey guys, I heard you may know something about a legendary item that could defeat Buff Tiger?
Are you looking for me?
Who is that? I looked to my side and standing on top of a tree was Buff Tiger.
So, you think some magical object can defeat me? You haven't even seen a fraction of my power. How about we settle this right here, right now?
With a roar, Buff Tiger hit me. There was no way I could take him on right now. The best thing I could do was get him to leave the area. I had an idea. Over here, you big brute. I quickly ran back toward the cliff.
Where do you think you're going?
When he got close, I hit him with my Swiss Army knife, which caused him to catch on fire. On fire, he had no choice but to jump into the river, which carried him away.
This isn't over. I will find you.
With Buff Tiger gone, I hurried back to the clearing and saw the anteater leader waiting for me.
We knew Buff Tiger was hunting monkeys, but it seems like he is attacking anyone who opposes him.
I'm sorry to hear it. Buff Tiger will be back though, and it's not safe here anymore. You and your family are welcome to come and live at my base.
Thank you, we would love that.
On days 37 to 40, I had arrived back to the base with our new anteater friends. While they checked out the new area, Chim Chim and I went to work building them their own wing of the base. We wanted to be sure they felt comfortable after having to flee from their homes. We soon finished and the anteaters moved into their new space. Once they were moved in, I talked to their leader and asked him if he knew anything about the legendary item.
I have heard of this item before, yes. I don't know what powers it possesses, but I know it can be found in the northern ice fields. The seals there should know more about it.
The ice fields, huh? Sounds cold for a monkey. I'll have to make sure I prepare myself for that journey. But before I could do that, Chim Chim and I got to work on the next part of the statue. Things were really starting to come along and I felt like maybe if I could finish the statue before I faced Buff Tiger, I could have the courage and bravery of my hero. But while we got a lot done, finishing it was a task for another day. From days 41 to 43, I headed to the mines to do some mining. I was hoping to find some diamonds to upgrade my gear. While I was headed there, one of the anteaters came running up to me from a nearby cave.
Hey, are you looking for diamonds?
I am actually. Do you know where to find them? He explained that there were diamonds in the cave he had just come out of, but there was a cave centipede blocking the way. If I could kill the centipede, he'd let me have all the diamonds. You're scared of a little centipede? I can squish that, no problem. I headed over to the cave and peeked around the corner. The centipede was way bigger than I thought. No wonder the anteater was scared. I saw a stack of blocks I could climb up, so I climbed to the top and took out my bow. I can shoot him from up here where he can't reach me, no problem. I started shooting him with arrows, but he crawled up the wall and hit me. Uh-oh, he can climb walls too. His hits had poisoned me, which brought me down to half a heart. My next durability was also running out. If it broke, I was toast. Luckily, I was able to finish him off. Whew, that was way too close. With the centipede out of the way, I now noticed that there was a big stash of diamonds at the end of the tunnel. Awesome, now I'll finally be able to upgrade my tools to diamond. I quickly mined out all of the diamonds, and then I worked on crafting a diamond pickaxe, sword, axe, and shovel. I also had a few extras, so I made myself a diamond helmet. On days 44 to 49, I left the base to travel to the northern ice fields and find the seals the anteaters had told me about. Oh boy, it's freezing. I hope I can find these guys quickly. I don't know how long I can stay out in this. As I was climbing over some snow, I heard a sound coming from the other side. The seals must be over this hill. I jumped over the hill and was surprised to see a couple of polar bears who immediately started to attack me. I took out my new diamond sword and fought back. I'm much stronger now. You won't be able to take me down. After a few hits, the polar bears were down. Even I was surprised at how quickly I was able to defeat them. Maybe I could be the monkey of legend after all. I kept running across the ice fields when I saw someone getting attacked by a couple polar bears in the distance. As I got closer, I saw it was a huge orangutan fighting them off. By the time I had reached him, he had taken out both of the bears. He was really strong. Hey there, I didn't expect to see another monkey all the way out here. What brings you out this far? The orangutan didn't respond right away, but instead slowly looked me up and down.
It's going to get cold soon. We'll need to build a camp for the night.
Yeah, okay. The orangutan and I quickly worked together to build an igloo. He didn't say much while we worked, and I was starting to get an uneasy feeling about him. But maybe he was just suspicious of me too. I decided I would try and find out. I started up a fire in the igloo, and he surprised me by asking me a question first.
So, what are you doing out here?
I'm looking for the seals. I was told by the monkey shaman that I'm the monkey of legend, and there are rumors of a legendary weapon that can help me defeat Buff Tiger.
The shaman must have lost it. How could a small monkey like you be the monkey of legend? No. I spoke to the shaman and he told me it was my destiny to save the monkeys. It must be your job to help me find the item.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing, but maybe he was right. He was so strong and had taken down 2 polar bears with no weapons at all. I knew the shaman had the wrong monkey. Okay, you're probably right. I'll help you in your quest. I know we need to find the seals, but I don't know where they are.
They're living in a secret city not far from here. We'll go there in the morning.
We both settled down for the night. I couldn't believe I thought I was the monkey of legend. On days 50 to 53, we traveled across the ice fields and soon saw the entrance to the hidden seal village. But before we could get any closer, we ran into the snapping turtle I had seen near the anteater village. You again? How did you get all the way out here? The turtle didn't respond and attacked us. I charged and noticed the orangutan hesitated before joining the fight. But once he joined, we were able to defeat him easily. Thanks for the help. You had me worried for a second there. He didn't respond to that and we headed into the seal village. We soon found the king of the village and asked for his help. He explained to us that although the city was hidden, they too were afraid of Buff Tiger. When we asked him if he knew of the legendary item, he told us that it wasn't located here. Instead, he had a map to its location, which he shared with us. Thanks for sharing this with us. We'll find the item and save everyone. From days 54 to 57, we traveled back to my base and I saw that Chim Chim had found a lot more monkeys. I'm so glad we're able to help all these monkeys. Chim Chim and I got to work on expanding the base. As we worked, I told Chim Chim about everything that had happened. When I told her how the orangutan was actually the monkey of legend, she didn't believe me.
The shaman has never been wrong before. I don't know if I trust that orangutan. I believe in you, Zozo. Keep an eye out for anything suspicious.
While we were talking, the anteater I'd saved from the centipede showed up again.
Zozo, I need your help again. My little brother was playing in the jungle and got trapped in a jungle temple. Can you rescue him?
I didn't have a moment to spare. Jungle temples were full of traps that could hurt a little anteater. I ran into the jungle and soon found the temple. I could hear the little guy trapped inside. Don't worry, I'm coming for you. As I made my way through the temple, I carefully broke the traps and managed to reach him. And just like that, the little anteater was free. All right, buddy, there you go. The little anteater ran out and I decided to check the chest for any good loot. Whoa, check it out, diamonds. And what's this? A diamond destroyer? This will help me break a bunch of blocks at the same time and does major damage. Nice. On days 58 to 62, Chim Chim and I got to work on our hero statue. It was really starting to come along and I was happy with how it looked. Every time we finished more, I couldn't help but feel a little more brave. I guess that mattered a little less with the orangutan around though, but it was good for me anyway. Speaking of the orangutan, I hadn't seen him in a while. What could he be up to? I was heading back to the base when I saw it was surrounded by snow leopards. These are followers of Buff Tiger. How do they find the base? I ran up and started attacking all the leopards. How did you find us? Take this! There were so many of them, but they didn't stand a chance against my new weapon. I started to take them out one by one. I had the last leopard cornered when I heard one of the chests in my base opening. Someone was in my base. I quickly climbed up the tree as the last snow leopard ran away. When I reached the top, I saw the orangutan was stealing the legendary item map from my chest. He must have told Buff Tiger where my base was. Why are you doing this? You were the chosen one.
I'm sorry, Zozo, but I lied to you about being the monkey of legend. I needed you to trust me so you could lead me back to your base. Buff Tiger said he would kill my family if I didn't help him find you. I've seen how brave you are. You must be the monkey of legend.
You don't have to do this. Stay and help me. We can defeat Buff Tiger if we work together.
I can't lose my family. I have to bring this map to Buff Tiger and try to save them. I'm sorry.
And before I could stop him, he jumped over the edge of the treehouse and escaped into the woods. Wait a second. If he told them about my base, he must have told them about the hidden seal base too. From days 63 to 66, I ran across the land and into the ice fields to find the seal village, but it was too late. Oh no, the village is in ruins. Buff Tiger must have beaten me here. As I ran into the village, I could see that the village was destroyed. Then I saw the Seal King, and he was greatly wounded.
Zozo, when we told Buff Tiger we didn't have the map, he attacked. He forced us to tell us where the map led to. Hurry and go to the Badland Mines. He'll be going there to try and find the weapon first.
I'll go find it and I'll stop him. You have my word. Just then, the snow leopard from before jumped down and killed the Seal King. No, how could you? I pulled out my destroyer and quickly finished him off. I couldn't waste any more time. I had to hurry and get to the mines. From days 67 to 70, I traveled to the Badlands to locate the mines. As I was getting closer, I saw someone entering the mines. It was Buff Tiger. He was going to beat me to the treasure. I can't let him beat me again. As I got closer to the entrance, something jumped down from a nearby cliff. It was a giant rocky roller. Get out of my way, I'm coming in. The rocky roller took one look at me and charged. I took a swing, but he knocked me back a lot farther than I thought he would. I don't know if I can beat this guy. I kept trying to hit him, but he took down nearly all of my health. Just then I saw someone coming over the hill. It was the orangutan. He punched the rocky roller and they started to fight. The rocky roller hit him several times, but the orangutan was able to hit him more. But before the orangutan could deliver the final blow, the rocky roller was able to escape. You're back.
I'm sorry for everything, Zozo. When I returned to Buff Tiger, he didn't release my family and tried to capture me too. I ran away and knew I had to come help you.
Boy, am I glad you showed up. Stay here and heal up. I'll see if I can still get to the item inside. On days 71 to 74, I snuck into the mines to see if I could tell where Buff Tiger had gone. I looked around and saw there were a bunch of lanterns down one of the hallways. Buff Tiger must have put these here. This should lead me right to him. I followed the lanterns until I came to a dead end, full of treasure, chests, and some cobwebs. This must be where the item is kept. I can't imagine it's still in here. I took a look in the chest. There was some good treasure, but no special item. Buff Tiger had beaten me to it again. What was I gonna do now? I had no idea where Buff Tiger's base was. I saw a tunnel leading out, which Buff Tiger must have used to escape. I made my way back out of the cave and met back up with the orangutan. Come on, let's head back to the base so we can help you heal and come up with a plan. On days 75 to 78, Chim Chim and I worked on a shelter for the orangutan. He was a big guy, so we needed to make sure he had a nice place to stay. Once we were finished, the orangutan called me over to him.
I'm sorry again for everything, Zozo. Here, I think these supplies will be useful for you.
He threw down a Heart of the Sea, shark teeth, and prismarine blocks. Wow, thank you! I know just what to do with these! I headed over to a crafting table and used the supplies to make myself a shield of the deep. Nothing is going to get through this. Next, I headed over to my farm to get some supplies. As I was harvesting my crops, the rocky roller came out of nowhere and attacked me again. You again? I'm ready for you this time. By using my new shield, I was able to block his attacks and hit him with my hammer. He was still tough, but with my new tools, I beat him easily this time. And stay down! After the fight, I felt some serious power coursing through me, and I turned into a giant silverback gorilla. Whoa, I'm huge now, and look, I have 20 hearts. I was so excited, I almost didn't notice the rocky roller had left a book behind. I picked it up and looked inside. It looks like these are orders from Buff Tiger. In the back of the book, it also had coordinates to the rocky roller's base. If I go there, I might be able to find out where Buff Tiger is keeping all the monkeys. I also noticed he had dropped a redstone torch. I better hang on to this. It could be helpful. On days 79 to 84, I used the book to travel to the rocky roller's base. I arrived at the coordinates and there was nothing there. There's nothing here, but these are the right coordinates. Did I miss something? I took a look around and saw there was a lever hiding behind some rocks. I pulled the lever and a secret door opened. Bingo, this must be it. After I entered the base, I heard someone walk up behind me. It was a lion. He must be an ally of Buff Tiger.
Hang on there. I'm not looking for a fight. I want to defeat Buff Tiger too.
Why would you want to do that? Aren't you cats in it together?
Not at all. In fact, tigers are one of our greatest enemies. Help me search this base and we can bring him down together.
He didn't look like he wanted to fight, so I agreed to work together. We both entered the base to have a look around. There wasn't a whole lot down here and it didn't seem like there was anything of use. Then I noticed some redstone markings on the wall. Wait a second, the rocky roller dropped a redstone torch. I wonder what happens if I put it here. I placed the redstone torch and the blocks moved, revealing a secret room. What could be in here? Inside the room there was a book. I opened it and saw there were some weird symbols inside. These are coordinates to Buff Tiger's base, but someone needs to decipher the code. I know someone who can help. Come on, let's get out of here. But as I started to leave the base, the lion hit the lever and closed the doors before I could get out. Hey, what's the big idea? Open the door.
I can't let you do that, monkey. It's true, I want to defeat Buff Tiger, but that's so I can be the Lion King. All monkeys should be serving me, not him.
We'll see about that. I took out my destroyer and shield and started fighting him. With my new strength, he didn't stand a chance. He got some hits in, but I was able to strike the fatal blow in no time. On days 85 to 89, I headed to the monkey shaman's hut. I knew he would be able to translate the coordinates. When I arrived, the shaman opened his door and walked out.
Zozo, is it really you? My, how you have grown since we last met.
I need your help. I found the coordinates to Buff Tiger's base, but it's in some kind of strange language. Can you read it?
Ah, that's because these are coordinates for a place not of this world, a different dimension entirely.
Not of this world, but he's a tiger. They live in this world.
He may look like a tiger now, but he is hiding a dark secret. Take this tiger pearl and build a portal. It will take you where you need to go.
I took the pearl and started heading back to the base. What did he mean, a dark secret? I guess I would find out soon enough. From days 90 to 94, I headed deep underground and found some obsidian and some copper. While I was down there, I also came across some diamonds. This is just what I needed. I can use this to finish making my armor. Once I had all of the supplies I needed, I headed up to the surface and crafted the rest of my diamond armor. Then I smelted all the copper and made some copper blocks. Then finally, I equipped the rest of my diamond armor. Now I'm ready for a fight. Then I headed outside and put together the special portal. I was all geared up to travel to Buff Tiger's base, but there were still a few more things I needed to finish first. From days 95 to 96, I grabbed Chim Chim and we worked on finishing the statue. I felt like I couldn't face Buff Tiger without finishing it first. This was a monkey I looked up to, and it felt like this was one of the final steps of my preparation. Soon, the statue was complete.
This looks amazing, Zozo. I think your monkey hero would be proud. I'll give you a minute to take it in.
I think so too. Thanks for all of your help, Chim. I couldn't have done it without you. Chim Chim headed back to the base and I took a long look at the finished statue. Suddenly, I heard a voice coming from the statue.
Zozo, I've been watching your progress. You have a big fight ahead of you, but you can do it. You're a braver monkey than I ever was. You are the monkey of legend.
Thank you. That means so much to me. I feel like I've finally gotten strong enough to be worthy of the title.
You were always worthy. Remember, it's not about how big you are on the outside, but how big you are on the inside. Good luck.
Tomorrow, I'm taking the fight to Buff Tiger's front door. On days 97 to 98, I took time to visit with all the animals who had joined our new home. Many of them were scared, but I assured them I would find their friends and families and bring them home. Secretly though, I was feeling nervous because I still hadn't gotten the legendary weapon. Finally, I was ready to light the portal, but as I walked up to it, Chim Chim jumped down in front of me. What's wrong, Chim?
I can't let you go in there alone. I want to help.
I know. I wish you could come with me, but if anything happens to me, everyone here is going to need a strong leader to help them move on. We can't risk losing you too. Chim Chim nodded and moved out of the way. Before I go through, is there anything else you need to say?
Yes, everyone who is watching the video should like it and subscribe. There are going to be so many more adventures, and we want everyone to be able to follow along.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Chim. Well, here goes nothing. I took a deep breath and threw the tiger pearl into the portal. On day 99, I suddenly appeared on the other side of the portal, standing in a dense jungle. I looked out over the treetops and could see a sprawling city before me. I made my way down the trees and into the city streets. Look at all of this. There's no way a tiger built this. He must have built this with all the monkeys he took prisoner. As I wandered through the city, I saw a sign pointing to the prison. That must be where the monkeys are. I made my way there and soon saw the large prison building. I climbed up the wall and ran into a snow leopard on top. I quickly finished him off and then jumped into the prison yard below. I could see all the monkeys in cages. Don't worry everyone, I'll break you out. I kept fighting the guards until they were all destroyed. Then I quickly started breaking all the cages. Go free everyone, you need to all leave before Buff Tiger shows up. As I broke the rest of the cages, all I could think about was finding the legendary weapon. I had to find it before I faced Buff Tiger, but at least now all the monkeys were free. On day 100, I saw a sign pointing to the palace. That must be Buff Tiger's palace. I'll bet he keeps the legendary item in there. I made my way into the palace and took out a couple of guards. The place was nearly empty. Buff Tiger must be out capturing more monkeys. I then made my way into the basement where I saw a banana katana floating over a pedestal. Could that be what I think it is? Legendary banana katana, infused with potassium. This is it! I heard a tiger growl outside. Buff Tiger, you must be back. I walked outside and saw Buff Tiger was waiting for me, with an ocelot by his side. Buff Tiger, this ends today. I have the ultimate weapon.
Huh, you really think that rusty artifact can do anything to me? Did you even look at its durability?
I looked closer and saw that he was right. The weapon was nearly destroyed. But this was a weapon of legend, wasn't it? Surely it was stronger than it looked.
Get him.
The ocelot charged. I swung the banana katana and killed the ocelot in one hit, but the weapon broke.
Haha, you see what happens when you believe in fairy tales? I was going to let you work for me, but I think I will just end you instead.
Suddenly, everything began to shake, and Buff Tiger transformed into an even stronger tiger. This must have been the dark secret the shaman was talking about. How am I going to defeat him? I'm not strong enough. Suddenly, I remembered the words of my hero. It's not about how big you are on the outside, it's how big you are on the inside. He was right. The true power had been in me all along. I was ready. Alright, Buff Tiger, let's dance. We charged at each other and exchanged blows. He was incredibly strong, but by using my shield and special powers, I was able to stay in the fight.
Why won't you die, you scum?
You messed with the wrong monkey. I could feel myself getting stronger with every hit I landed. I was winning. I'm sending you into another dimension, one where you can't come back. With a final strike, Buff Tiger was finally defeated. After Buff Tiger had disappeared, I climbed the hill and saw some monkeys celebrating. Finally, we can all go home.